Hello, and welcome to The Casual Fan. I'm Ben.
And I'm Emmy.
And she's Emmy. And we're here to tell you about all the nerdy stuff and how to, like nerdy stuff without, having to be a douche about it.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, a lot of fans are douchebags.
Jerks.
Sherlockians. I'm going to tag you in this too so you see it.
Sherlockians. Supernaturally aliens.
Anyway, today's video was specifically titled Unknown Territory because there's a lot of stuff we haven't been able to enjoy yet, haven't been able to get into yet, and we'd like to share some of those with you, a little bit of why we haven't, and a little bit of how we intend to. Alright, to start off, first on our list is a show I've personally come across a lot on Tumblr, because, I use Tumblr, is a show called Star versus the Forces of Evil. I have a cold/sinus infection.
So he sounds funny.
Like and subscribe. It's another Disney XD produced show, which is surprising to me. Well, not surprising, but Interesting, because I really like Gravity Falls, and to know that there's another show they have out there that could possibly be a whole different kind of beast. I'm kind of interested in checking it out, even though it looks super anime, which makes sense, because I've read that the executive producers are heavily inspired by Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, which from the art style, from what I've read of the dialogue and gift sets and whatever the hell else, it looks and sounds very, very anime, which I know anime isn't a adjective. I'm using it as one anyway.
But it is. The person that is the theme for this, the Star versus the, what is it called? Star versus the
Forces you don't
Evil?
know think about this. This is my thing. Star versus the Forces of Evil. Yeah, the guy who did the theme also apparently, if you're a fan, did the theme of Gravity Falls, which is super cool. It's super cool and very reminiscent of the theme from Fringe, suspiciously enough. Someone having to be a J.J. Abrams fan. And since we're going to go see Star Wars tonight at 12 a.m., I'm going to mention that.
Yeah.
Guy who made Gravity Falls. If you can follow that train of thought, you get $1. I'll stop giving away those. You mentioned we don't have any.
Yeah.
If you want that, you only know that if you watch the last video. If you watch the last video and this one, you get like $2 I don't have. That's amazing.
We're giving you all of our money.
I also interested in True Detective. Are you interested in that?
Yeah, all of my friends have just hyped it up so much, but I also had no idea what it was about. But you'll find out in the podcast. We learn more about it.
Yeah, watch, listen.
In our podcast, me and Ben learned from our friend Zane more about the show because he's an actual fan. But I just knew that everyone was hyped
everyone's gonna be like, who did the what? We on our podcast, the Not Nerdy Enough podcast, which you can find linked down below or in the card at the top of this video. We had our special guest, our friend Zane, over, who was incredibly knowledgeable about the show True Detective, and made me all the more excited.
Yeah. Now that I know what it's about, I'm definitely more excited for it. But also, everyone's been talking about it.
If you know nothing, if you've just heard the name, it's an HBO produced program. It's a dark anthology series, meaning season 1 and season 2 have nothing to do with each other.
You can, if your friends are starting the new season, you can hop in right with them because it's going to be all new stuff.
I know the first season has Matthew McConaughey, which all right, and Woody Harrelson, which I think he smokes weed or something, so I'm all about that.
You can't have a name Woody Harrelson and not smoke weed, I feel.
Yeah, I guess. He just seems like he seems like someone I would have a lot of fun making jokes with. That's all I got to say about it. Now, on to something. You specifically mentioned something that I was surprised you actually wanted to enjoy.
I want to get into Battlestar Galactica. I'm really, really happy about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I want you to tell me why.
what happened was Ben showed me a spoiler for something. I had the song. This isn't a spoiler.
Yes, it is.
Telling what led for you to show me the spoiler.
Oh.
I had the song All Along the Watchtower stuck in my head, and that is actually tied into a really important thing in the show. And Ben, thinking I would never want to watch it, showed me this huge spoiler, and I was like, oh wow, that's really freaking cool. I need to see more of whatever this is. And so that's why I kind of want to get into Battlestar Galactica.
It's very cool.
I've heard all good things about it.
I'm just gonna comment. Speaking of Battlestar Galactica, I totally forgot since we did the podcast before I filmed the video that there's a camera right there, and I just been like staring off in the distance for like the whole time we were talking.
You're on a lot of cold medicine, baby. It's okay.
Who are you? Now, anyway, Battlestar Galactica is a fantastic show. It's a very intense. I'm staring at the microphone still. You're over there. I know. I'm in podcast mode. You're over there.
Yeah.
But like, it's so pretty.
We're
I just
coming
bought
straight
it.
out of podcast. So
it's so pretty. I just bought it. You're over here. I didn't mean to disrespect you. You know, care. I care. I know you're there. I understand. I acknowledge you. I just want you to know that. I acknowledge you.
Ben, do you know that there's a camera right there? Like, there's...
Are we filming something?
Oh, the Casual Fan, welcome!
Hi, I'm Ben.
I'm Emmy.
Alright, now Battlestar Galactica is this show about how... I don't want to spoil too much because we go more in depth in the podcast, but it's a very intense character-driven drama about the last of human civilization trying to survive.
Yeah.
Now, if you know, it's the 2005 remake of the original Battlestar Galactica. It is a little dated since it's, about almost 11 years old, but it is fantastic, and I highly recommend you check it out. It is an hour-long drama. It's a lot to invest in, but do it. If you watch The X-Files, you have no reason not to watch Battlestar Galactica. Especially like sci-fi, it's good. It's real good. There's a reason everyone wants the girl who played Kara Thrace to play every other blonde, strong female character in the movie. Yeah. No, I don't. I wish I could give a more specific. Like Power Girl. Look up Power Girl and Captain Marvel, and you'll see the articles. Regardless, moving on.
Okay. Next thing that I personally want to get into, Game of Thrones. It's another one. So everyone's good. Talking about it. Haven't seen any of it.
It's in what, season 19? 22?
It's not that far in. Yeah, I know I'm way behind. I'm gonna have a lot to catch up on to be up with anyone else that watches Game of Thrones. But if everybody from all different subgroups of kinds of people thinks it's the shit, then I want to watch it. I want to see what that's about. Like Breaking Bad, everyone was like, "Oh, this is awesome," and I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it." And Breaking Bad was awesome.
Breaking Bad, I was the same way. I didn't watch Breaking Bad until 2 days before the season finale, and it's good. The Game of Thrones, I don't want to, again, it's another one of those I don't want to give too much away because a lot happens in a lot of different ways to a lot of different people all the time. Apparently. And I just want to note this one specific thing for those of you who are conflicted about watching Game of Thrones with it being a book series and not knowing about spoilers and all that. The movie storyline and the book storyline stray to such extremities that there is no possibility of you having legitimate spoilers from one or the other. Only really if you have a Twitter or Tumblr or Facebook or the internet. That's how we get spoiled. As long as you avoid the internet, there's nothing in the books that can honestly ruin the movie for you. It can't. They're gone on to two different kinds of
paths.
Nobody could. Wait, they might have heard that.
Whirlwinds.
Alright, now, speaking of whirlwinds, I'm going to segue into something completely unrelated. Joker comics. I've had this recent super obsession because I have reread both The Killing Joke and Death of the Family, two of my favorite Joker comics of all time. Well, I say they're Batman comics, but I call them Joker
They're
comics
about-
because I'm a normal person.
Yeah. Okay.
But those two inspired me personally. Like they aren't the first they aren't the first and second in the series. I think they're the second and the third. There's also a fourth. You can Google it. You have the fucking internet. But they inspired me to go and look more into anything that just featured the Joker because he's so
His
cool.
whole story is just is awesome.
I mean, any origin story is awesome. Okay, whether we're talking about the Red Hood or we're talking about
Oh, I forgot all about how in the Killing Joke you get the backstory.
yeah. See, no,
As much as you need of a backstory.
that's why we mentioned in the podcast that we recorded before this when he mentioned Jason Todd and the Red Hood. Whatever. Listen to the podcast featuring Zane. Not nerdy enough podcast on SoundCloud. Links down below. Hold on, just say you can open it in a new window.
Yeah.
In a new tab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and subscribe if you like.
You should
It's fine.
probably get on Google.
I'm currently on 11 minutes. Well, I don't have much left to get through. Also, if you enjoy those comics, check out Joker by Brian Avarello. Brian Avarello, fantastic, amazing art and writing. I wish I could tell you more about it, but if you enjoy the Joker, check out the comic just called Joker by Brian Avarello. It's an amazing work of art.
Also check out The Killing Joke and Death of the Family too. Those were the first two comic books I ever read and it's awesome. It was cool. Didn't need any kind of.
They're lovely. I say lovely, but lovely.
Oh no, they are awful. They're dark and twisted.
Take a shot every time she coughs on camera.
Take a shot every time you can't understand a word he's saying because he's so flimmed up.
Also, if you like podcasts, there's this one podcast called Serial. It's nonfiction. It's about murder and betrayal and all kinds of stuff that actually happened in real life, and it's fucked up. And I mean, I'm sorry, excuse me, let me use a better description. It is a description or at least a breakdown or investigation of traumatizing events.
Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, there is a podcast called Welcome to Night Vale. You might have heard of it, you might have not. It is a radio show, or the premise is a radio show for the fictional town of Night Vale that frequently has very strange happenings.
So you're listening to it as
if
someone who lives in Night Vale, listening to news.
Yeah, if you're a Steven Universe fan, keep Beach City weird.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, basically like that. Anyway, if you'd like to hear any more of this, I'll say it again because no one is going to listen. Go and listen to more of what we've talked about here at the Not Really Enough podcast, hosted on SoundCloud. I will link it plenty of places. I've been Ben.
I've been Emmy. We'll see you guys next week before Monday.
Sometime I'll post it on the weekend some point, maybe.
At some point.
Probably. It'll be on the weekend at some point. That's our schedule.
Yep.
All right.
Before Monday is the schedule.
Before Monday. Sometime. A Monday. Time is arbitrary. It doesn't exist.
It's really a non-linear, wibbly-wobbly. Okay, we'll see you guys later.
You know when the Flash goes super fast, he goes back through time and creates a wormhole?